and William Guthrie live right across the street from the Laundrie home where Brian and Gabby were living before they went on this trip with Brian's parents, and they join me now. Charlene and William, thank you very much for being here. I know you moved there at the beginning of the summer, but you're literally across the street. What did you observe when Brian returned from the trip and you saw that white van that had belonged to Gabby in the driveway?
Didn't know it was Gabby. We just assumed it was his van. We just thought they had come back from wherever. We didn't know they were on a trip. We just assumed they were went back to their house or wherever they had gotten the house, wherever they were. We didn't know much about them at all. Nothing at all, actually. And they just came back home. We thought she was in the house with the parents or mother or whatever, and that was pretty much it. I mean...
So after that, the FBI came and took that van away. You saw Brian and his dad working on one of their campers in the driveway. Charlene, can you tell me about that?
I actually didn't. My husband saw that. I didn't really witness.
Okay, so William, what did you see
they had gotten a camper,
in the driveway?
Yeah, well, I was doing some work in the front yard, and I noticed that they got a new camper for the back of the pickup, and I didn't think anything unusual. They got a new camper, so they wanted to put their own touch inside of it. I saw them doing some work. Then when they prepared for their trip, I saw them loading the camper.
Now, you're talking about Brian and his parents after he returned home, is that correct? In a different camper?
Yes. The van is his. His father has a pickup truck, which they purchased a in-bed camper.
Like an attachment camper. And then you say that they packed up that camper, Brian and his mom and dad, and they went camping. Do you know that for sure?
We saw them. I saw them loading it up, and so I assumed they were preparing for, a camping trip with their new camper.
They were going for the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long after he got back, alone in that white van? How long after that was this, when you saw them working on this other camper and getting ready to go away together?
Yeah, I can't remember, the dates.
Week and a half.
Yeah, probably week and a half. I agree with that.
So
yes.
did the police ever talk to you about what you saw, the parents and Brian working on this new camper and then leaving for a few days? Did they ask you about that?
I believe that we did give them that information.
We did tell them that they had gone on a camping trip for 3 days for the weekend.
Did you think there was anything unusual about that?
Well,
after we knew they were missing, after Gabby was missing, when they came to our house on Saturday night a week ago and told us they were working a missing persons case.
Yeah. Also, which struck me as odd, as I spoke to my wife about, is that the parents going on a trip, I can see that, but taking their 23-year-old son in a small camper that's on the back of the truck struck us as odd.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Thank you both very much for being with us. Charlene and William Guthrie, observing all of this. I'm sure it's very shocking.
We're continuing to follow the search for Brian Laundrie. It's been over a week since anyone has heard from him. Just yesterday, the investigation into his fiancée, Gabby Petito, went from a missing persons case to a homicide. And now search crews are focusing their attention on this nature reserve in Venice. And that's where Fox 13's Kimberly Quizan joins us live. So, Kim, you've been following this story since day one. Walk us through what led investigators to the Carlton Reserve in the first place.
Hi, Linda. Well, what led investigators to the Carlton Reserve was Brian Laundrie's parents. Now, keep in mind, on Friday night, when they reported him, quote, missing, they told investigators that this was the area that Brian was coming to on Tuesday. They said that they saw him walk out of their house with a backpack, supposedly jump into that Mustang, and go to the Myakkahatchee entrance, which goes into the Carlton Reserve. So they're basing this search on tips from the parents at this point in time.
So that silver Mustang that was towed away from the Laundrie home on Monday, do we know why? Looking for clues, obviously, right?
Obviously, that's a good answer right there. But that was also towed away as that FBI agents went up to their house executing the search warrant. Now, the Mustang was towed away as evidence was also taken out. Talking with investigators, they're going to be looking at that Mustang, combing it over, just as they are this reserve, looking for any evidence that may tell them where Brian went past when he left his house.
Well, law enforcement has been searching this reserve for several days now, but this is the first time, I believe, that they've brought in a dive team. So do we know why they're taking this additional step?
Yeah, Linda, well, this is the first time that we have seen that dive team go into the reserve. And we know that they have gone in there because the investigators say that they have searched a number of areas on land. They said that they're starting to exhaust their land search, and they're going to look into the water to see if it contains any clues of Brian or Brian's belongings. That could also include the backpack if it ended up in there, or anything that belonged in that backpack. But investigators are now honing in on that, just saying that they've been looking all over the land. They haven't been able to find anything at this point, but they continue to bring resources in here. Just a few minutes ago, we saw a Verizon signal truck coming in to help boost the signal of investigators that are back out there. So there's something in here that's continuing their search at this point in time.